I was talking to a friend yesterday, and we were discussing our experiences in relationships, and they highlighted how they have a tendency or attraction towards the opposite. They said opposites attract. And I thought about that a lot throughout the day and that night because in my experience, I tended to gravitate towards people that were similar to me so that I could share kind of the more important pieces of my inner world. But really wanting to take a good look at, what are the benefits of having someone opposite in your life? And then how do you maneuver those differences? Because I think one thing that tends to be kind of common right now is people struggle with maneuvering differences, finding common ground. And when I started looking at the research on those types of relationships, the two core pieces that were indicators of whether people could navigate those differences and use those to grow was their ability to communicate and to compromise. Because when we approach the world through different lenses, we need to really communicate our perspective and our needs in order to help the other person understand how to show up for us, and also vice versa. They need to communicate those needs as well so that we can show up for them because we're oriented slightly different to reality. Now, the compromise piece becomes really important in order to find a common ground in between the differences because no one actually needs to change. But what does need to happen is we need to figure out how do we create bridges to make up for that space or that challenge of understanding each other or seeing eye to eye. So it can be really helpful if you find yourself moving towards the opposite of you to approach it with a mind that is empowered by this understanding of the necessity for me to communicate and them to communicate as well, and also for me to be willing to compromise. I'm not going to be able to get everything that I want with this person because I picked someone who fundamentally is different and views things different. So we're going to need to find somewhere in the middle where we both can be happy and where we can both be free from the resentments that often plague these types of connections.